I remember the first time I tried building a coffee table. I had a picture in my head, a pile of lumber on the floor, and a plan I'd found online that was basically a sketch with a few numbers scribbled in. It was a nightmare. I cut the boards 3 times, wasted half the wood, and ended up with something that wobbled every time you set down a cup. That's the kind of frustration a lot of us deal with when we take on woodworking projects, and that's exactly what Ted's Woodworking sets out to fix. So, let's talk about what it is. Ted's Woodworking is essentially a massive digital library. Over 16,000 woodworking plans all bundled into one place. It's marketed as the world's largest collection of woodworking projects. We're talking everything from small crafts like birdhouses and picture frames to serious builds like outdoor sheds, furniture, and even gazebos. The promise is clear. Step-by-step instructions, detailed schematics, material and cutting lists, and different angles so you're not guessing what goes where. What stood out to me is how it tries to meet you wherever you are in your woodworking journey. If you're a beginner with just a drill and a saw, you'll find projects tailored to that. If you're more advanced with a full workshop, there are bigger, more complex builds waiting for you. On top of that, the package comes with some extras. CAD software to tweak and adjust plans, 150 woodworking videos, a guide on how to start a woodworking business, and even lifetime updates with new plans each month. Right now, the price is a one-time $67, and it's backed by a 60-day money-back guarantee. But let's be real. What's good and what's not? The good is obvious. The variety is insane. You could scroll for hours and still find new projects. The instructions are often more detailed than what you'd stumble across for free online. And if you're someone who likes having inspiration at your fingertips, this is a goldmine. The CAD viewer is a neat touch for those who like to customize. And I'll give them credit for the guarantee. It lowers the risk for anyone curious but hesitant. Now, the not so perfect parts. With 16,000 plans, not every single one is going to be polished. Some are excellent, others feel outdated or a little rough around the edges. The organization could be better. Sometimes it feels like you're digging through a massive PDF archive rather than browsing a clean, modern platform. And while they say beginner-friendly, a few projects still assume you have certain tools or experience. It's not necessarily a deal breaker, but it's something to be aware of before diving in. Compared to just grabbing random free plans online, this is more reliable and comprehensive. Compared to buying woodworking books or magazines, it's way more cost-effective. You'd pay more for a handful of polished plans than for the entire Ted's Woodworking package. The trade-off is volume over curation. If you want a giant library, this is it. If you want only a handful of highly polished plans, you might find yourself overwhelmed. So here's my take. Ted's Woodworking is like a toolbox. If you love woodworking and you want options, it's going to give you a ton of them. But like any toolbox, you'll find a few tools you use all the time and a few that just gather dust. At $67, even if you only use a small percentage of the plans, it could still be worth it. If you're expecting every plan to be picture perfect, you'll be frustrated. If you're okay with sorting through a big collection to find gems that work for you, it can be a solid investment. If you decide to check it out, I recommend picking a simple project first. Build something small, test the instructions, and see how well it fits your workflow. That's the fastest way to know if this collection is for you. And if it isn't, well, that's where the guarantee comes in handy. So, would I recommend it? For hobbyists, DIYers, or anyone who wants endless inspiration and is willing to do a little digging, yes. For someone who just needs one polished plan for one specific project, maybe not. It really depends on your style of building. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If this review helped, hit the like button, subscribe for more honest breakdowns like this, and let me know in the comments. What's the next project you'd love to build if you had the perfect plan for it? I'd love to hear your ideas.